Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. Episode 45, and welcome to this grand supermoon, this super full moon that we're experiencing today. Wow. I seen it last night and I took some pictures. So if you want to see what I experienced last night, go to my Facebook, blissbee.me, and the photos are there. And also a beautiful little some insight that's from one of the other people that I follow for their quote cards, because I like their insight. So welcome. Let's do some work with this full moon today. My name's Deborah O'Neill, and I am the CEO and founder of blissbee.me Integrative Holistic Health, and I work in the modalities of advanced integrative energy healing. And I am a teacher and initiate in the Himalayan tradition, a yoga, philosophy, and meditation. I also study the work of Rob Williams with Psych K, which is the limiting beliefs, and kicking them to the curb so you can live the life of your dreams and in bliss. And I continued studies with the professional series Healing Oil Collective with Tiffany Carroll in Seattle, Washington, and shamanic studies through the work of Sandra Ingerman in New York. Good morning, Marilyn. Thank you for being here. So this big, full super moon, what does that mean? It means that the moon is closest to the earth. So it will, if you have the joy of having a clear sky and or able to catch it in between the clouds, those mystical moments, take it in today. Take it in and feel the presence of the full moon. And today I hold in my heart, my daughter is in the air with this full moon flying back from university. So I hold that her journey is safe and smooth and without any full moon tricksterness, because sometimes the full moon has quite an effect on us. And so I invited her to be calm and go with the flow and know that she is safe and she's on her way home. So speaking of that, being home, this inner part of us is home. And yes, I did remind her to deep belly breath as well, to ensure that she was maintaining that place of peace and calm and clear decision making. So, what we learn here and what we learn in life, we're often noted at, if you've had children or you have somebody that you're a guardian of, or you have an opportunity to influence somebody else, that we are a lot of people's first teachers, or we are often, and not knowing that we are an inspiration to others. So, when we go into that questioning of ourself and finding out those nuggets about even if it's gratitude and inspiration and appreciation, where we've been working on the last day and a half, 2 days, I guess, we're looking at that. We're looking at that in a broader perspective. So if somebody else is sitting back and doing that work, they may be including us or you in this broader perspective as well. So keeping in mind that what we are showing and displaying to others and mirroring to others it allows them to do the work that you are doing. And it allows them to see you as a human and how you course correct to this work. So this is all part about being in alignment. And we've discussed that before. When we get into this space and we're it's a big energy center. And we may have things come up for us. And remember to allow ourselves with compassion and grace to potentially step back from a situation or say no to a situation as we do this work. There's a lot of codependency, and sometimes we often give more than what the other person really actually needs. And we might want to just say, on your question, do you want me to offer a solution, or do you just want me to listen, or do you want any feedback? And somebody might just say, I just want you to listen. Especially when we're in these positions of influence, or myself, I've played the mother-father role for my kids most of their lives, with them, I'd say 80 to 90% of the And and that's not a jab against their dad or anything. It's just a matter of what is and what, where he was aligned at the time. So it depends on our alignment. And when you're doing the inner work, your alignment shifts, in this giving mode, this love giving and this love receiving and being a part of the homeostasis of the body. Homeostasis means balance. So often we may offer our thoughts and feelings freely to a situation, but the balance is also to offer our ear, offer our listening, and check in and see whether we're out of balance on that. Are we doing more listening or are we doing more talking? There's a little phrase out there that floats around. I don't know if I entirely agree with it. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Because I think the mouth is very important. We also have 2 eyes. And sometimes just holding that person in your thought, in your vision, and sending love is just as strong as the words that are spoken. My mother was a great teacher of that. She lost the ability to use her voice. I can't even guess how many years into her dementia. I'm guessing probably the last 10 years of her life, she was unable to construct a sentence. And she taught me this valuable lesson, probably the most valuable lesson. Well, she taught me a lot of valuable lessons, but this lesson about how she was continuing to teach me, how I was continuing to receive her teachings. I was in the alignment of what was most important to me. My alignment was to just love her. And every year we went through this COVID thing, and every year we had to wear masks, and every year there was about a month or so at least that I wasn't allowed to touch her. And the fact that she couldn't even speak, but now I've got to be away from her and I have to wear a mask in front of her. How would she recognize me? These things. Yeah. Just looking in one's soul through their eyes. So there's lots of really great ways to delve into this area of air. All these unseen areas, these waves and frequencies that are flowing between you and me, us and them, this oneness. There is no you and me, us and them. We're one. We're breathing the same air that the rest of the world is breathing. I'm breathing the air of Jesus at one time. I'm breathing the air of Buddha. I'm breathing the air of, oh yes, that reminds me, this is a Buddha Purnima moon. So this is said to be when Buddha became enlightened. So there's a Guru Purnima in July and a Buddha Purnima in May on this super full moon. And so welcome to Buddha Purnima. So I thought I'd share that little bit of yogic information. And in this full moon, I actually take time with my lineage of Himalayan tradition to sit in the evening. We all sit at the same time, so we can be in that collectiveness. And I must tell you that it's the wildest. I call it my carpet ride because, and I feel like I'm sitting cross-legged on my little carpet. I don't know if you remember that show from when I was little. I remember this show. This little boy would ride around on a magic carpet. And I feel like that. So find your little magic carpet and that little place, that space that you turn into your place for sitting today, and see if you can tap into the full moon. See if you can tap into the full moon. I also do a fire ceremony today, and I make a list of everything that I'm willing to let go of, and all those shadow parts of me that I'm open to seeing in an alternate way, in a new way. And often those shadow pieces of us are things that we see in other people that we don't like in ourselves. And so to delve into that a little bit, those parts of you that are buried in that unconsciousness that pops up from time to time saying, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You're not good enough. Yeah. And then you may see somebody else that is good enough that you would like to emulate, and you might have that little twinge. That's the shadow. That's the shadow. That's the little inner child that goes, yeah. So during the light of this moon, if you have the opportunity to step out in the light of this moon, those aspects, that is a part of you. That's on the path to finding your truth. And the more that we find our truth, then we don't rely on other people's truths. We get to lead our own way. We get to be in our own alignment. See how important this alignment is? And please, please, please give yourself permission and consent to step away from a situation when you know that the best of you is not going to come out. And just say, you know what? I'm feeling out of whack right now. This isn't anything that I can discuss with you. And I know what I need to do for myself. So I'm going to take some time right now to go and do that. And rather looking at the resistance of the situation, looking at the positive solution of what you want, what is best for you, what would love do here? My favorite question. It serves me so well. What would love do here? And then we're pre-programming. We're making new synapses. And then with the energy work that I do, then I repattern those fields. We do this work in the front end. I have the joy and the grace to be a catalyst to repattern this and assist this new structure of beingness. So let's bring our beingness to our feet right now. And turn on our sensories and engage our deep diaphragmatic breath. As we send those etheric feet and those tree roots down to the center of the core of the earth, I want you to remember it's okay not to be perfect. Believe me. It's true. And to love yourself for who you are right now. Because that's all that matters, is this present moment. So let's go down to that central core of that earth. And let's bring up that Mother Earth energy, that nurturing and security and safety and groundedness as we just love ourselves up, bringing it up into the bottom of our feet and into our legs. These big tree roots, these legs that take us where we want to go. Whether we have use of them or not, they're still there. We have a blueprint, and every part of our body, whether it's there or not, is blueprinted. When I work with some people that have lost a limb, I work with the full leg or the full arm. And you may have heard the phrase of ghost pain. There is ghost pain. There is still the blueprinted structure. When you rip a leaf, there's still the blueprinted structure of the leaf. You can see it when you use a special camera to take those Kirlian, I think it's called Kirlian photographs. Bring this red, beautiful Mother Earth energy up our bodies. Up, 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 up. Allow it to cascade over our shoulders and down our arms and into our hands. And now let's bring it up into our head and fill our head. And out Sahasrara and feel it cascade 360 degrees around our body as we go into centering the body and feeling this energy of Mother Earth. This feeling, you can do a little circular motion, back, forth, sideways, front and back. And just get that sense of stillness. It's like, I've arrived. That's so delicious. It's more nutritious than breakfast. Don't tell anybody I said that. Now take that fine line, this hara line, up to divine source creator, higher self. Fine line straight past the solar system. Yes, past that full moon. and into the cosmos and the universe, and allow this beautiful golden white energy to cascade down this fine line and into Sahasrara and into the head. And allow this effervescence to clear. Just feel the clarity that's coming in. It's like a bath of divine light, source creator light. It's just a bath in this full moon when we might have all these little things coming up for us today. And just bath all those things in this golden divine light. And say, yes, I am aligned. I am aligned and I am prepared to do the allow and be aware of the truth of me. And allow it to come into the heart and feel that expansion. Take a nice deep breath, and you might want to open up your arms and roll back your shoulders and feel that elixir that's coming down. And did I say arms? Down the arms and into your hands. Feel that tingliness or feel that love. You can bring your hands together to your chest and bathe in it. Bring it down into the fire region and allow this oxygen to stoke the fire, that passion. Stoke it. Allow it to transmute that all that does not serve you on every exhalation, just letting it go on this beautiful day of Buddha Purnima, super full moon. That is a mouthful. And bring it into the hips and down into the legs and the knees and the calves and the feet. We have so many unseen things with us today. And that does not mean that they're not real. They are fully real. It's all measured. And the Buddha Purnima energy, can you imagine how many beautiful souls are sitting and celebrating? This is a huge celebration. Let's join that frequency of celebration. And then as we do that, that raises our vibration even more. Feels so wonderful. I hope you are feeling wonderful with this process. It's the most valuable thing I've ever learned. And yes, I do it every day. And yes, I hope you do it every day. And I especially love doing it in the shower because when the water comes flowing down, and if you're doing it standing, it's important not to lock your knees. That cuts off the charge. So keep your knees slightly bent. And when you do your centering with the aligning, when you do your centering, I invite you to keep your eyes open so you might get a little dizzy. And I don't want you to fall down. I don't want you to hurt yourself. All right, let's go into our mantra meditation. And engage that deep lower diaphragmatic breath. And if you find that you're in a relationship where you feel that you're giving too much, I invite you to reclaim a part of that. Reclaim a part of that if it feels right. If it feels right. And if not, just hold that in your field, that that's your intention. If not today, in the process of doing this work, it's a resolve. I resolve to take a piece of me back. I resolve to take a piece of me back. And when I do yoga, I hold that resolve as soon as I step to the front of my mat and I know that I'm breathing up in my alignment. The first thing that I do, I align and I make my resolve to take that little piece of me back. And I bring my hands into my chest, into my centering, my aligning, and I feel all four parts of my feet on the ground, totally grounded, and I feel that groundedness. I set that groundedness. I do this before I even begin. And every time I lift one foot, I'm sucking that earth energy into the foot that's still attached to the earth. And that's what allows me to lift. That's what allows me to do tree pose. Eyes open, eyes closed. So let's bring in the mantra Soham. Or maybe you want to do I am love. Love I am. If you want to switch it up and see if something keeps you from getting kicked out, helps to work with what's coming into the mind. And honor the stuff that comes into the mind. Write it down at the end and do a little journaling with it, with the positive twist, without the resistance. Once we offer resistance, we're changing our vibration. And we're stopping the flow of receiving, you see. So much to learn. It's great stuff. Okay, I'll be quiet now as we go into 2 minutes of meditation. Thank you so much for being here. Sit as long as you can. Stay as long as you like. And I'll take our cards. I'll do our cards at the end. Our card. So our aim here is a slow, smooth breath with no jerks, no noise, and no judgment. Inhale so. Exhale hum. If you're not in a position to shred your paper or burn it, or if you want me to burn it in my fire ceremony this evening, send it to me. I'll print it off and I will burn it on your behalf so it can transmute into the ethers. And after you do your letting go, balance it with what is that you want. You can also light a candle while you're writing your work. And when you finish your letting go process, you can just simply blow it out and say, so it is. And step by step, we don't change, we become. I love these cards. The heart card offering for today is, I just want to grab my bells because I want to do a bell today. Take time to be still. How else can you receive? Take time to be still. How else can you receive? It's such a beautiful, beautiful card. And I invite you to take time to be still in the frequency and vibration of this Buddha Purnima super full moon. And stand beneath it if you get a chance in gratitude and let go. And with that, I'm going to ring our bells. Thank you for being here. I love you. Make it a great day. Look at my eye.